everyone, and welcome to our summer series. We are on vacation, but still want to deliver you the tech topics and ideas that our webinars typically do, but in a much simpler and more convenient way for summer break. So, to start off today, let's think about some situations that you might be put in this summer. Maybe you are needing to go through the airport to go to your vacation, and you get to your gate and you have an hour's worth of time waiting for your plane before it boards. So you're thinking, oh, this is valuable time. I could really be getting some work done right now. So you pull out your handy dandy phone because, of course, you don't want to bring your entire laptop and work setup with you on vacation. So you're pulling out your phone, checking your emails, maybe responding to emails, opening up links that people have shared with you, things along that nature. Same thing could happen if you're sitting on the beach. Maybe you hear your phone going off and off and off, and you're like, oh, I need to make sure everything's okay. So you pick up your phone again, and you're checking emails, responding to messages, whatever the case may be. While this seems super convenient and, like a good idea, you're making the best out of the spare time that you have, there are a few issues that can arise from doing this. So, Marissa, can you explain to us what the problem is here?
Absolutely. First, we don't condone that you actually work on the beach.
You're on
But
vacation.
the idea, right, you're on vacation. But the idea here is that we are mobile, right? Your team accesses apps and data on more than just their computer these days. With people working from anywhere, your employees want it to be easy for them to get the work done, and that may mean using their mobile device to check email, like Michaela said, or to open SharePoint on their tablet. So whether it's an employee owned device or a company issued one, do you know if you're in control of your data, right? The old school way of controlling your access to data was by giving someone a computer that they had to use when they came into the office and logged into the network. Everything was safe. But now that the office means you're working from more than one location on multiple devices, even ones that you may own, it's important to make sure that you actually can control and protect what happens to the data that folks are accessing, right?
Yeah, for sure. And like Marissa said, being in control and knowing where your data lives, but also giving employees the flexibility that they want and the ability to chat and communicate even when they may be away from the physical office location, helps protect your organization in the long run. So, what does that mean when it comes to allowing your team to use mobile devices to access apps and things that do hold secure data that need to be highly protected by your organization? Luckily, there is technology to enforce this control and security while also keeping it simple for your team and not putting too many restrictions on when and where they can work, because that would not end well.
No, and that's the thing. We want you to know where your data lives. We want you to be able so that you know where your data lives, so that you know how to give your employees access, easy access to that data, but also at the same time, like Michaela said, making sure that it's secure access, so you can make sure that the your asset is protected. So being in control, what does that mean? It means that when you're allowing people to use mobile devices, that you have the right policies in place to set the expectations on what they're allowed to access outside of your, when it comes to like bringing your own device or using company-owned devices. The other thing is the technology, right, to enforce and control, to force control and security measures. And so there are two things when it comes to mind to protecting mobile devices using the technology. There are two options that typically for small businesses we're talking about mobile device management or MDM, and we're talking about mobile application management, which is MAN, MAN, to be able to either secure the devices or the applications.
Right. So, MDM, we'll start with that one. So, this is talking about securing the actual device itself. This ensures that only trustworthy devices can access your resources that hold that data that needs to be protected. So, this is ideal for company owned phones. It's a super high level of control. So, anything on that device can be protected and monitored and made sure that it's not getting into the wrong hands. Um, Sometimes employees aren't really open to the idea of it because, again, it does take over the entire device itself. But it is a way to centrally manage those devices and make sure that you know exactly where that data is living, who's getting access to it, and who all has the opportunity to view it. Yeah, Marissa, do you want to go?
Yeah, there's an agent that actually collects data, and you create a profile. So you have to enroll the device into a program that installs a piece of software and a profile that allows you to track the phone, lock it, secure it, encrypt it, wipe the device remotely, right? And Kayla said there's like a high level of control. The agent collects that data so that it can enforce strict policies to protect the device. It gives you that full level of control. Mobile device
You are managing the
management.
device. But
Right.
yes, if
So
that's
option
too much
one.
control though, and you don't want to do that for your team, there is another option, ma'am, mobile application management. So this is a little bit less of control, and it is focusing on securing the applications on the device, not the device itself. So many employees don't want to enroll themselves in the mobile device management as it's so control heavy. So this is a more common solution for companies to use because it gives your team the flexibility that they want to use their own personal device to have access to their work applications, but it also protects your data that lives within those applications.
Yes. And so you get the flexibility to be able to use, let's say, Microsoft Outlook, the app on your phone, so that you can access your email. But let's say we configure policies at the application level that says, okay, when you access this app on your phone, not only do you have to be, like you have to have your passcode to enter into the phone, but then we want face recognition or a passcode, like a multi-factor authentication prompt to be able to access this specific application. So one more layer of protection, right? Or you can set up policies to do things like prevent people from copying data so that they can't open SharePoint and copy a bunch of data and paste it into something that's not controlled. The idea here is that you're limiting and controlling the access to the actual data that lives within the application, which is set up on the back end and only maintained in that particular application based on how you log into it.
Right. So, with these two policies and security tools in mind, there are many options that give your team and you the flexibility to be able to work from wherever they may be traveling to this summer, whether you're sitting in an airport, sitting on a beach, wherever your travels take you. But you can still stay in touch and make sure that you're not missing out on anything important if you want to keep up with what's going on back at work, but it also protects your data. So, the best of both worlds. Thanks for joining us today for our summer series on vacation, and we will see you next time.
See you soon.